everyone, welcome to Venture Chats. I'm Kara Chen. Over the past 5 years, I've stayed in Latin America for almost a whole year. It is often said that Latin America is considered one of the most dangerous areas in the world, especially when it comes to the perception of safety even by the locals. Security-related products and services are very popular in this region. Many gated communities use electric fences, surveillance cameras, and armed security guards to ensure peace of mind for owners and residents. Marwa and her brother Khaled spotted opportunity and seized it swiftly. Together with two other co-founders, they built Munini, a mobile app born in Panama, trying to improve the security of Latin America's gated community and the efficiency of internal management and communication by tapping into information technology. The investors behind Munini include Silicon Valley's Y Combinator, who fueled the growth story of companies like Airbnb, Dropbox, and Coinbase. Munini was rejected 2 times by YC before the final yes. I asked Marwa in this video what made the difference of turning no into yes. I also asked what's her advice for future founders. She drew an analogy between building a startup and selling cupcakes, which I found insightful and delightful. Hello, Marwa.
Hi, Carol. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us today on Venture Chats. I appreciate that.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure for me.
First of all, I'm very curious about your personal experience. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like most Munini founders, you went pretty much straight away into building the startup company Munini right out of college. So what made you want to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, of course. Well, I am the CCO of Monelli. I studied marketing and I already have an MBA. The reason why I became an entrepreneur, I think it's because 2 important facts. Number 1, it's an incredible and amazing rush. We wanted all the rush. We want all the technology loving experience. And in other hand, my parents are businessmen. So I didn't want to follow on the family business. So that's like my personal reasons.
Did the family kind of entrepreneurial spirit or experience of doing their own business, being their own boss kind of impacted you? Were there any lesson that you got from your parents how to run your own business?
I think 100%, because the mindset of my parents are like, okay, you need to be the boss. You don't need to work for anyone. You can be your own boss. And my dad, it's a very smart man. And when I was a little girl, he was saying to me, hey, Marwa, all your success in life will be directly impact with who you surround yourself with. So if you surround yourself with 5 entrepreneurs, you will be number 6. And every night he was like, you need to surround yourself with lions, only lions, tigers and lions.
There are 4 of you in the team who founded Munini. So how did you guys meet or get to know each other?
Okay, this is a incredible question. So I don't believe in luck, but I think we have a lot of luck of our co-founding team. The CEO is my brother, Khaled. He is the head of product. And my other 2 co-founders are Carlos de la Guardia. He's in charge of operations, and Michel Contreras, that is in charge of the technical department. So how we meet with Carlos and Michel, Khaled was the one with the idea. At the beginning, he went to me and he was like, hey, I hate all this building experience. I want to create an app to have all the security access management on my phone. And I was like, hey, this is a great idea. We can do that. okay, now we need someone who codes. Basically, start a job hunting on LinkedIn. We get to Mitchell, and Mitchell was working with Banco General, that is the biggest bank in Panama. And he loved the idea, and he was like, okay, I need my work right now at the bank, but I love this idea, and I will work part-time with you guys.
Mhm.
And we were like, okay, good. But at the beginning, he was an employee. We need some capital. And a friend of us basically did the intro with Carlos de la Guardia. But Carlos had another job at that time. At the beginning, myself and Khaled were basically working all the time, 24/7 in Munili. Carlos and Mitchell were part time. Carlos and Mitchell loved all the process, the experience, the product, and they were so boring at their jobs. And
Boring.
they would like, hey, I'm quitting my job and I will be part of Munili full time. And we were like, yeah, come, baby. We need our co-founders full time here. And yeah,
How is the chemistry like between you four, and how did you complement each other in terms of personality, characters, and strength or skills?
that's why I say in this aspect of my life that was luck, because we didn't know each other at all, like in personal stuff, because I only knew Carlos de la Guardia and Mitchell Contreras because of work. We knew that I will be in charge of the sales and marketing department because it's what I love to do. Khaled at the beginning was the head of product. Carlos, the head of operation, was like, we didn't have a discussion of you will be doing this and you this, because we already knew what we are good at. We didn't have like a lot of co-founders conversations of personality or work. We just fit in.
Does the word community mean something?
Yeah, Munili, it's from the word community. Munili from community, and the ILY, it's I love you.
Why this was an idea starting from real estate? Why the idea came from that space? Was it because someone among you already had experience working in real estate industry?
We started on this industry because of personal problems that Khaled and myself had at that moment. Like, for example, we had a broken intercom on our apartment, so the communication with the security guard was a pain in the ass. We didn't know the rules of the community. Khaled one day has a party at our apartment. He invited a lot of people, and the next day he received a charge. He broke one rule, but he didn't know about this rule. He was so frustrated, and he went to me like, Marwa, we are in 2019. This can be possible happening right now. So I will make an app to communicate with the security guard and to communicate with the administration well. And I was like, I think it's an amazing idea, actually.
You're trying to solve this efficiency issue in property management, for example, by providing a faster and safer access to visitors, or automating the process of finance or accounting, etc. Who do you perceive to be your main competitors? For example, in Colombia or in other markets, do you know of any names that could be your competitors?
Okay, in Colombia, we have competitors called Neighbor or Comunidad Feliz, but they are more focusing on fintech solutions. And our vision are more in all the security and access control management. So it's like the big difference. I think that the three big players of Latin America are Munili, Neighbor, and Comunidad Feliz. But we have a competitor in India that it's an incredible application, and we discovered this application last year, and we were like, wow, this is like Munili, in India, the same vision. It's called
What's it called?
MyGate,
Like
and it's a very, very, very interesting company.
security is a big concern in Latin America.
Wow.
As an Asian myself, when I travel to this region, I notice this problem because some things that's not normal or doesn't exist in Asia, it's quite common, becomes quite common in this region. For example, you have armed guard in front of the gated community sometimes. So I
Yeah.
guess Munini is really targeting a very like relevant market.
Totally. We live in the most insecure zone in the world, and the insecurity levels in Latin America are high, and that's the reason we exist actually, because somehow we want to guarantee more security on our buildings.
Do you have any idea what could be your potential addressable market? How big is the market?
For example, in Latin America, we have 2.2 million communities, and can be a market opportunity just in SaaS for us, around 4.4 billion, just with the SaaS business model. But if we take into account another verticals that we already have been studying, like for example, payments or rentals or home services, it can expand our market to 30 billion, like Monelli becoming from B2B to B2B to C.
Right now, you are mostly B2B. You deal with the residential management community, right? You don't deal with the residents themselves.
Okay, that's an interesting question. In Colombia, we are a B2B. In Panama, we are a B2B to C because we already have alliances with local providers, as for example, laundry companies, pet companies, fruits and vegetables companies, car wash companies. And what we do basically is that Monel is like the bridge with residents and with this local provider. So what you can do with Monel right now, if you are a Panamanian resident, you can have all the access control management, all the security stuff. You can also do bookings for the common areas. You can have all the communication of your building. And you also have a vertical that it's called home services, when you can order services as, for example, laundry, car wash. Long story short, in Panama, we already are a B2B to C. In Colombia, we are a B2B, and we have operations in Costa Rica too. And in Costa Rica, we only have SaaS.
That's interesting. Munini has become an app, like a super app that would include everything, becomes an umbrella through which the residents could order whatever services you want. But how do you charge the residents when they book a service on your platform?
We don't charge the resident directly. What we do is that we charge the local provider if you want to be on our platform.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
like the business model of Uber Eats, for example.
And now let's talk about the YC part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been very excited about hearing this story from you. So could you tell us the story of being selected and then admitted by Y Combinator?
Well, what's an incredible, incredible experience. I will recommend to apply to every entrepreneur in the world. It's incredible. The persons you work with are a very, very, very smart people that already have an amazing background and experiences with all these startups around the world. We applied to YC 2 times before the yes, and we were rejected 2 times. The third time was the spectacular notice that we get in.
Were that both for Munili idea
Yeah.
or other ideas?
No, Moonily. At the beginning was with Moonily. The first time we applied, we didn't receive the chance to have an interview. The second time we applied, we had the chance to receive an interview, but they were like, I want to know more about your market. And we work a lot on the market opportunity. That's why we developed this B2B to C strategy. And then we apply with, hey, we are an access control management app to enter to these communities, all these communities. And once we get in, we can do A, B, C, D. And this third time was incredible because was the time we get in. So we had the interview, and then the same day we received a call from Aaron, that was one of our partners, saying that, hey, we want you in this batch. And we were very, very, very excited, because I think that one of the most beautiful things of YC is that you start learning before you are in YC. All this application process to answer all these questions were very, very incredible experience, was a very, very incredible experience for us, because we start to learn with these questions before the program. And we were like, wow, if this is the experience before the program, I don't want to know how is in the program. They makes you focus on all the growth. You need to growth. And I think it's the favorite word of YC. It's growth, and was a very cool and incredible experience.
How did you pitch differently from your previously failed rounds versus the last round where you get yes? What are the turning points?
We learned a lot about the no's, and we were like, okay, I know now how I will do this. And we knew that the problem was the size of the market, or how we pitch the size of the market. So on our last chance, we were basically focusing on this size of the market, and with our new verticals opportunities.
So the fact that you added this aspect of B2C, do you think that had an impact of getting you a yes?
Yeah, 100%.
And how was the demo day like?
Okay, was really, really, really excited. It's funny because you basically prepare yourself for 3 months to do a pitch for 1 minute. But it is what it is, and was a very cool experience, like preparing ourselves to do the right pitch, to say the correct words, and to have all this demo day experience for us was incredible. And not just to pitch, to listen another co-founders and other startups. I was like, it's incredible the amount of work and patience and opportunities and business models and everything that we are doing right now, with all these opportunities that we have as entrepreneurs in the time we are living at.
There were about 400 startups in this round this year in YC batch. So basically, you have to listen through all the 400 startups pitch, each with 1 minute within those 2 days?
Exactly.
And you think it's possible that you could repeat for us here those 1 minute that you did at demo day?
Yeah, of course. Let me prepare myself.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I will do it in 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Marwa, co-founder of Monele. Monele is an access control management app for Latin America's gated communities. We have 55K in MRR with 315 communities in 3 countries. 95% of LATAM's gated communities still use pen and paper for access management. And they have security blind spots that have zero traceability of unknown visitors. On average, we make 170 per community per year. And there are 2.2 million communities. That's a market opportunity of 4.4 billion. And if we take into account another verticals, our market can expand to 30 billion. Security is just the starting point. This is our Trojan horse to be the portal to sell directly to residents, home services, and payment solutions. We are Monele. Thank you. Long
Well
story short,
done, well done.
yeah.
That was very smooth. Well done. Was there any particular very like memorable learnings? If you could just pick one or two topics that you learned from this YC program, the ones that leave you the most impactful memories or learnings.
Yeah, I think that all the growth mindset, when you're a startup, sometimes people think that to raise capital is the goal, but it's not the goal. The goal is to grow. And with that growth, you can raise capital to keep growing. So that's the mindset that you need to have.
You are on the path to exceed 600,000 visits to your app in March. Also, you expect by the first quarter of 2022 to have 2,000 communities that install Mooney. Congratulations on that, first of all. And how big is the team now?
Okay, we are more than 15 persons working right now. We think that from now till end of the year, we will be 100 plus. It's a very aggressive growth, but it's our mindset with growth. You only need to grow.
Is Mooney right now profitable?
No, I think that that's profitable mindset at the beginning. In a startup, it's a very, very difficult because once you get profitable, you will invest the money, and then otra vez, you need to again be profitable, invest, and it's all a growing cycle.
When you are raising capital, those one you pitch to, let's say potential investors, they ask questions about when do you foresee you're going to reach the profitability. Did they ask such questions?
No, that much, because they know that at the beginning you need to do a lot of burn, but our goal is to hit the green numbers.
According to Crunchbase, you have reached 700,000 so far. Is that number still accurate?
Yeah, we are raising right now a little bit more, but what we have raised, yeah, it's not as a directly sales process that, for example, you do the pitch and the money is coming. It's not that way. It's more that you need to create the relations, the connections, and you need to somehow like get your company know and basically create this relation with your investor, because at the end of the day, it's a very, very important person that will be on board, and they will invest in you if they like you and they like your company, not just your company. You as an entrepreneur, as how aggressive you are, how you think.
How was the first ever founding that you raised in the early days? Do you still remember that?
Yeah, I was with friends and family actually, and we did it in a professional way. We did all the pitch, even they were friends, even they were family. We did all the pitch, we did all the things that we needed to do, and we were like, hey, you know me, you know that we will do a great work with this money. We have no product, we just have a design. We pitch with a design.
How much was Mooney valued in the last round of funding?
In the last one, it was 10 million.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Do you have any piece of advices for the future founders?
Just do it. Literally, just do it. The best way to know if your product basically works is with your product on the streets. You need to go after your users. You need to talk to users, and don't wait until your perfect product, because you will be late. You need to just do it with what you have, where you at, and with who you know, but do it.
You will never have that perfect moment when you think
No.
it's the right time, right? You just get started.
You don't have a perfect moment, and you will not have a perfect moment. It's like a excuse. So you need to just basically go out with the product that you have. You need to receive feedback and get back to work to create a better product. For example, if you know how to cook cupcakes and you want to have this big restaurant of cupcakes, what you need to do, okay?
Start baking.
Of all, yeah, start
Start
making,
baking.
literally.
Baking
Start
the first
making,
one. Then the following ones will start coming.
literally. Start baking, and then you will invite all your friends and family to your home, and you will say to them like, hey, I'm an entrepreneur right now, and I will basically sell all these cupcakes, and I want your feedback, but you need to charge them. It's not free. You need to charge them, because the real feedback is when someone is paying you for your product, and then you will receive a great feedback because they are paying. What you need to do is receive all this feedback, get back into the kitchen, get your product better, and do the same thing. If you know that it's a cool product, you will do the second step. You can do a cloud kitchen. So you enter to, I don't know, if you are in USA, DoorDash, if you're in Latin America, Rappi, and you can sell your cupcakes through these apps. And if the sales gets well, you can basically do the third step, that is starting with some local stores, and that's the way to do that. You don't have to wait to the perfect product and to have millions of dollars to basically go to the third point, that is the store plan. No, it's simple. Just do it, and charge your
It's very
product.
interesting. It's very interesting that you mentioned this point. You have to charge even during your very first stage to get a serious feedback.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me when I started to pick up these online classes from Google Learning, right? E-learning. I realized when I don't have to pay, it's a free course. I basically don't pay attention. I don't follow the calendar. And because I'm not serious about learning, but when I started to pay, they started to charge me. I can feel the pay point. Then I follow the course more rigorously. So yeah, I think that's a very important, interesting point that you brought up.